We talking playoffs? Wildcard weekend. Let's go. Money pot.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. We are back.
Welcome everybody back for another episode of the Money Pod Podcast Sports Show. I'm the host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money, and we got Wild Card Weekend ready to go. Playoffs are here. Super Bowl picks are here. So let's get to it. Let's bring up the scoreboard. We've been using ESPN, as you can see. If you look below, had to change up my language. You know how funky YouTube is with some of the stuff that we've been doing. So had to switch it up just a little bit. But we're still making it work, and we're still giving you guys the best plays of the day. Now, what we got here today is we're going through a couple games. I'm not going to go through all the games. I don't like all the games as of right now, but some games that I definitely want to key in on. I got one every day or 2 days. Let me see. No, I got two on Sunday. Yeah, two on Sunday and one on Saturday. Not touching the Monday game. So let's kick it all right off, man. Let's go with the Rams versus the Panthers. This is a rematch of a surprising upset earlier in the year. Panthers won, I believe it was like 31-28. Very surprising matchup here that kind of happened, and a loss. Rams turned over, I think, two or three times, pick six as well. The funny thing about this game that you guys want to check out is that Horn, and I believe, what's the guy's name? I wrote it down. Morhe was out in this game. So when you look at that, they weren't even having their all pro corner out there against the Rams, and they were still able to get it done against that Rams defense. And this is a complete rematch. It's not like Panthers going to Rams. It's LA going to Carolina again to get a win. Just some quick footnotes. Road teams in the playoffs with four more wins are 2-6 in this game. Carolina's actually 14-10 all time against the Rams. Unfortunately, though, Carolina just has some bad defensive metrics. Second worst in the league in third down defense. But they're underrated total, being 15 total and defensive in the league. They only give up 13 points per game. I'm sorry. They give up the seventh fewest touchdowns, and they're eighth in the interceptions. So do not sleep on the Carolina Panthers defense. It's just the offense that has a problem, getting it done with Bryce Young. So how do I see this game playing out? You got possibly the MVP of the league coming in. Rams are a complete team. I told a lot of people, if we've had to face the Rams, I did not like that matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I actually like this matchup for the Carolina Panthers because I feel everything goes to Puka. If you put Horn on Puka and make the Rams forced to beat you in a different way, and that defense can kind of win some third downs a little bit more, they give Carolina a chance. I think 10 points is way too much. So give me the underdog here to get over that projected number of keeping this game close. Maybe they get to 10, but that 0.5 is so key right here. And we're talking about a playoff game. And it's funny, in all the games that Carolina lost, um, they lost 9 games. Only 3 of them went over this number of 40 points. So if you don't like the 10.5, I definitely like the under in this game, under the ward in this game. So give me the 46.5 too as well, with the under the water of that 46.5. Love that. Um, love that 46 and a half right there. So I don't have any prop picks for this one, but definitely under the 46.5 is a key number, and that 10.5 is a key. So definitely looking at that powder blue and that Carolina in this one. So definitely take a look at that. Let me know in the comments if you like that one. All right. So let us go to our next game. Big game coming up here. Let's switch it up, switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. Not touching, I think it's a 50-50 game. I would lean Green Bay here, but definitely a 50-50 game. I don't know how many healthy receivers for the Bears going to have. I don't know if they need them, but playing the same team 3 times in 6 weeks is wild. So that sucks. But let's go to the 1 o'clock game and we'll switch right back to the Eagles game in a little bit. Let's go Bills versus Jag, and this is a really interesting matchup. With 2 versus 7, um, good on good rushing offense, good rushing offense versus good rushing defense. Jags are first and only giving up in defense efficiency against the run, only giving up 85 yards per game. But while Buffalo is great in the run, 5 yards per game. You see how the line is close. It's actually favored Buffalo. I think that's really, really telling when you see them as the projected favorite here. Bad rush defense by the Bills, though, giving up 5.1 per yards. However, the Jags have been kind of weak on the rush in the last on their 8 games. 27th. So big matchup, big game. I think you have to give obviously the coaching experience to the Bills. Allen is 7-6 in the playoffs, while Lawrence is 1-1 in the playoffs. The key thing about Allen's 7-6 record, 4 of those losses came against Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So when you think about that, in those games, like all 4 losses came against KC, which is wild. It just sucks that he runs into Mahomes every single time. And I think with a career high here at 70%, Lawrence has thrown for almost 1,900 yards over 8 games, which is fourth best, second in touchdowns during their run. Um, this is good on good, but I gotta go with Buffalo here, man. I do. We're gonna take that. We're gonna take that number here, that plus 102 on that 1.5. I think Buffalo goes into Jacksonville and upsets the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Josh Allen is 5-1 in wild card games. He's never been one and done in the playoffs. This is their moment, right? There's no Lamar, there's no Mahomes, there's no Barrow in the playoffs. There's nobody in the playoffs with the playoff experience is Josh Allen. So I really like Josh Allen here um, in terms of where he's at uh, with the Buffalo Bills. All right. All right. So, like I said, like the Bills here. Again, I think it's telling that the Bills are the top contender here right now. So I think that's pretty telling about this spot. But, I know a lot of people want to be on the Jags, but I'm not one of them. Not one of them at all. All right. Let's talk about them. Your Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers coming into the link 4:30 Sunday. It's going to be rocking. Um, I think the Eagles are getting a lot of key pieces back here. I believe in the Kobe Dean practice. I believe Lane practice. I don't know if Lane's going to play. I would assume he would play in this game. I think Vic Fangio has said Dean is going to play. Let me just double check to see if we got any updated news on those players. But again, getting the kind of quote unquote bye week, getting guys healthy was really important. Dallas Goddard seems like he was limited in practice today as well, being Wednesday. So I think he's an important factor. Last year, he led the Eagles in receiving yards in the playoffs Right now, he leads them in touchdowns. I think he's in the top 4, top 5 in touchdowns across the board. I think he has 11. So we need him. I think we need him because I think this game changes if he's not in the game, right? Hurts definitely looks for him. He's a security blanket. So I think that's major with that. But with the San Francisco 49ers being so decimated, with Bethune being out at linebacker, all three of their starting linebackers are out, and then two of their starting linebackers are hurt. So they are decimated. So sounds like easy pickings for the Eagles to attack the linebackers, whether it be through Saquon or Dallas Goddard. I think that's vitally and vastly important to getting this done. I think I don't know if Trent Williams is going to play. I don't think he practiced today. I don't know if um Ricky. It's not Pearson. I forget the dude's name. I don't think he practiced though. I don't think he practiced today either. So um Ricky Pearsall, I'm sorry, did not practice today, and neither did Trent Williams. So I think that's pretty telling. If those two guys are out, and this could get ugly real quick. So it's just going to be it's a bad matchup for the 49ers. It really is. It is a really bad matchup for them. And I don't know how they're going to score that many points. I like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is a decent quarterback, but with that limitation that he has from an offensive skill set. Now Kittle will be big. I think Kittle will have some success against the Eagles, but you kind of pick your poison. You don't want Kittle to kill you. You rather have CMC kind of do his normal numbers, but you don't want Kittle to kill you across the middle of the field. But other than that, they don't have anybody, and not even they don't have anybody as a good matchup. Like Ron Jennings against who? I guess they'll put him against Adoree, but Adoree's been playing well, right? He's been playing decent. So um I don't think this game's gonna be close, and I think the line shows that. I think that total number there shows that as it's ticked up a couple points. And I expect it to tick up probably another point or so before kickoff. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for the Birds to get a win at home. And I like that. I think they get it done by a touchdown at the very least. Hopefully Jalen's Jalen, and you've seen they win games when he doesn't even play well. And that's why they're like an enigma. I mean, he's had 2 games this year where he hasn't completed a completion in the second half, and they still won the game. So they can beat you when they're good, and they can beat you when they're ugly. And I think that's a big deal for anybody who faces the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? Having those type of ways to win. If we can get Saquon going here, he had 442 yards. In the playoffs last year, I think he had 4 or 5 touchdowns. He ran for over 100 yards in every game in the playoffs. This would be the game to do it, and this would be the game to get it done. I believe it's supposed to rain in this game, which again would favor the Eagles a little bit. But yeah, I don't think the Niners really don't have a shot here. Like they just don't. They were hot for a couple games, but a little bit of rain, kind of chill. Should be a great day for football down at the link. I expect the Eagles to win. I expect the Eagles to win by a touchdown, man. So give me the Birds with the little number there, with the top contender number of 4.5. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. Go Birds. You know what I mean? That defense is going to ball. What was it, ranked 5th in points allowed? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. What we doing here? What we doing? So I think the other game, Monday night game, was, I believe, the Steeler game, Steeler in Houston. They're going to need that priest again to come and bless that field again for Mike Tomlin because they're going to need it. I think Metcalf does give them a boost, but that defense is elite over in Houston. That defense does travel, and I think defense is going to get them through this round. And Mike Tomlin still might get fired, along with the rest of the guys who've gotten fired, if he doesn't win at least one round. I expect them to have big things because they got Aaron Rodgers in there. even though they're kind of limited offensively. I expect them to have some success throwing the ball. Aaron Rodgers has seen every defense that's ever happened, but I just don't think it's going to be enough with that pass rush that they have to deal with. I just don't think it's going enough, and I think that Houston should get it done. Is Houston the top contender? Are they favored in that game? Let me see. I think they are because they're at home. No, Steelers are at home. Now that I think about it, Steelers are home because they're the fourth seed. Yeah, but Houston's still favorite, as they should be. As they should be. I mean, a little cold, but um, Steelers are coming in hot. I mean, sorry, Texans coming in hot. I think they won like 7 in a row. Let's see if they have any cold games recently. That would be a cold game. They beat Buffalo, maybe at KC a couple weeks ago. Okay. Should be okay. Should be okay. Um, yeah. Can't tell. Maybe KC, but that's it. Cold weather games, from what I can tell. So, not a game I'm looking at though. Make sure you guys are following me for more kind of picks. As I do them on the fly. Oh yeah, I forgot Super Bowl matchups. Hold on, let me bring up the bracket here. Let's do Super Bowl matchups, and then we'll get everybody out of here. Let's see. Still about the bracket. All right. So we kind of went through our list already of games that we're going to kind of look at, but let's go through the bracket real quick here and get to maybe a couple Super Bowl matchups that we can take a look at, possibly in some contenders here. All right, Steelers Texans. I think the Texans get it done here. So we got Texans at the 5 seed. I think the Bills get it done here. So that's the Jags, and then I think the Patriots. Even though it's gonna be a tough game, I think the Patriots get it done. So that means the Texans will go to New England. Buffalo goes to the Broncos. Um, I think Buffalo gets it done against Denver. Altitude will play a factor, but I just think Josh Allen's going to turn it up because there's no Patrick Mahomes to stop him this year, and he's got a shot to the Super Bowl. So we got the Bills winning there, and then we got New England versus the Texans, and then I got the Texans winning there. And then in a tough fight against the Bills and the Texans, I think the Bills get it done. I think you see the Bills going to the Super Bowl. In the NFC, we got Seahawks, we got Rams, Panthers. Talked about the Panthers earlier on. I think the Rams will win this game, but I think it'll be a tough game. The Eagles win. And I do think that the Packers would win. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win, but I think the Packers win. Packers go out to Seattle. The Rams come to Philly in a rematch in the NFC Championship. That's a 50-50 game. It could go either way. I can see LA winning that game, and I can see the Eagles winning that game. And then Seattle takes care of business with the Packers, and then either the Eagles or the Rams go to Seattle. I hope the Bears beat the Bears. I mean, the Bears beat the Packers because that means that the lowest seed would go to Seattle, which would be the Rams. We go to Chicago for another reiteration of the double doink playoff game. That would be amazing because then I think the Rams take care of business in Seattle. The Eagles take care of business in Chicago, and you get an NFC Championship rematch from last year with the Rams going to the Eagles. But in this instance, it would be the Eagles going to Seattle. That'd be a tough game, but I think it's a bad matchup for Seattle. Give me the Birds versus Buffalo in Super Bowl, whatever number we're on. Is that 56, 55, whatever number we are on? 60. Oh, 60? God damn. Super Bowl 60. Another one, we'll look at Bills versus Eagles, New England versus Eagles, New England versus Rams, Denver versus Seattle. Makes a lot of sense. That's a rematch of a Super Bowl as well. But that's where I'd be looking. I don't think Denver's going to make it, but you never know. I can't remember the last time both number one seeds made the Super Bowl. Let's take a look. What's those odds? Last time both top seeds made Super Bowl. It was oh KC and the Eagles last time they did it. And it broke a streak of years where at least one up seed was upset before reaching the playoffs. So there you go. So how often do the two seeds make the playoffs? About 3/4 of the teams that made the Super Bowl got a bye. First or second seed from 1990 to 1999 to 2019 made the playoffs. That includes 52% of teams that were the one seed and 24% who were the two seed. How about this one? How many times have the number one seeds played in the Super Bowl? Let's take a look. Only 13 times out of out of 50 Super Bowls. That's well, 14 times out of 50 Super Bowls. That's crazy. It doesn't happen. Yeah, man. So that's why I had to pick the way I picked because it's not common for the number one seed to get there. So, but those matchups are the matchups that I would be looking at, and actually and doing some moves on those matchups. I think those matchups are solid. I think in the NFC's Bills or Patriots for me. So those would be things that I'm keen in on. All right. All right. So that is Wild Card Week, Super Bowl predictions in terms of Wild Card Week and Super Bowl matchups. I'm the host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. We will see you guys next week for the divisional round and getting time to kind of close it down a little bit. Make sure you go follow us on all social media platforms. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. I will see you guys later.